What's up, everybody? Happy Memorial Day weekend 2018. Thank you to the troops for fighting for my fat ass to sit here and do nothing for 3 days and enjoy time away from work and make a couple YouTube videos I've been wanting to make. I'm Josh, and I haven't put a video out in a while. I've been doing some other projects. We have a podcast, me and my friend JJ, we have a podcast called What Did We Just Watch? With our friend Leo, and we have a Twitter page. We review movies, talk about them, and give our opinions on them. It's pretty cool, so check it out if you'd like. Me and JJ also have a podcast called Random Ass Podcast, and it does not have a Twitter page, I don't think. It might, I don't know. We haven't done that in a while either, but regardless, you want to check it out, Random Ass Podcast, What Did We Just Watch? So, anyway, I've been wanting to do these videos. I'm going to do a couple more today. And the first one is my top 10 favorite films of all time. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm saying these are the best made films, that I'm saying these have the best camera angles or the best story or, you know, whatever. These are my personal top 10 favorite films of all time. And it's a big fuck you to everybody else, because I don't care what everybody's favorite films are. You can probably see two of them behind me, you know. I like what I like, and I have my own opinions, and my opinions are not swayed by what you guys think. I'm sorry. That's what is so great about having a top 10 favorite list, and it's your personal top 10. These are the movies that make me feel something, and that I can continuously watch over and over again. And I don't discriminate genres. Whatever I like. And if it's well done, it makes me feel something, there it is. I don't, you know, it's not because of who's in it. It's not because of anything. If I like a movie, I like a movie. There's some on here that most guys wouldn't admit to liking, probably. But I don't care. So, without further ado, I'm going to get to it here. So, these are my top 10 favorite films of all time. Starting with number 10. It's a Ryan Reynolds flick called Definitely Maybe. And it is a chick flick, I guess you would say. But it's a very well done chick flick. And it has a lot of heart and a lot of soul and a great story. And I love it. And I'm not afraid to say that it's one of my favorite films. Every time it's on TV, I watch it. I don't own it on DVD, and I probably should. But regardless, I love it, and it's a very well done film. It's got comedy, it's got seriousness, it's got love stories, you know, it's got everything you want. And you can't, what I always liked about it is you didn't see the ending coming, and that's always makes for a great movie for me. So it's definitely maybe a chick flick, but I love it, and it's my number 10 film of all time. So anyway, number 9, changing gears to Equilibrium, which is a Matrix-style futuristic film starring Christian Bale, and I love everything about it. I'm not a big Matrix fan, but I love Equilibrium, and if you get a chance, you need to watch it. It's a very lesser-known sci-fi film, but it's great. I love the camera angles, I love the shots, I love how they did everything, I love the story, and the fight scenes are incredible. So, I love it. Equilibrium, my number 9 film of all time. Number 8, Back to the Future. It's actually Back to the Future 1 and 2. They're tied because I look at them as one continuous film, which I kind of feel like that's how they shot it anyway. But, I love Back to the Future. And what more can be said about Back to the Future that hasn't already been said? It's one of the most perfect 80s movies of all time, in my opinion. All of this is my opinion. And I even like Back to the Future 3. But, you know, it did not make this list. But I love it. Michael J. Fox was wonderful in it. Doc Brown, amazing. The DeLorean, the story, it's just so 80s and so perfect. And I can watch it all the time. I've watched it twice this weekend already. So, that's what I've done this weekend. I watched the first one and the second one and the third one already. So, I love it. Back to the Future, my number 8 movie. Number 7, Step Brothers. Now, for a while, this was probably one of my top 2 or 3 favorite all-time films. It's kind of lost a little bit of replay value with me, but I still laugh my ass off every time I see it. I know most words. I still reference it in my daily life, probably at least once or twice a day. I find a way to reference Step Brothers. You know, Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly. They made up half the movie or more and just went off script and just ad-libbed it. And, you know, those guys are just geniuses. So, Step Brothers, number 7. Number 6, another technical chick flick, I guess, but Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Jason Segel wrote it. Great story. One I can relate to about losing loves of your life or whatever from back in the day. And just what a person goes through. And luckily, this person had the means to go to fucking Hawaii. And, you know, he does crazy shit and ends up with Mila Kunis, whatever, spoilers. But it's just a funny movie. And once again, like Step Brothers, I can quote it. I can say the lines to the movie. I can repeat it all back. And it's a great film. And I watch it all the time. Even when it's on TV with the edited cuss words and shit and the commercials, I'll still watch it on TV even though I have the DVD right over there and I can just put it in. But, you know, for me, my favorite movies are ones I can watch all the time. And I could watch that movie over and over again. So, number 6, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Now we're getting into the big dogs. Number 5, Dumb and Dumber. What more can be said about it? It is one of the most perfect comedies ever written. And Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are amazing in it. And it's just outlasted the test of time. I quote it all the time. I can say every word to it. I annoy the hell out of my wife when I'm watching it with her. And it's just, it maybe should be higher on my list, actually. But it fell at number 5 today. But number 5, Dumb and Dumber. I mean, I can't say much more about it. You know, it's a legend in movies. So, number 4, Happy Gilmore. Now, this one was almost number 5 and Dumb and Dumber jumped it. But just how many times I've seen Happy Gilmore, how funny Adam Sandler used to be, and just what that movie meant to me when it came out as a younger guy. Like, I just watched it over and over and over and over. And I still watch it. I still watch it a lot today. So, once again, I know every word. I love it. I love the way it makes me feel. It's a happy movie. Just like you can put it in while you're doing something and just, you know, you don't have to pay attention to it. Just hardcore to notice what's going on. And it's good background music. Or you can just sit down with some popcorn and your wife and watch it. It's a great film. And in my opinion, by far, Adam Sandler's best movie. So, number 4, Happy Gilmore on my list. Now we're getting into the top 3, guys. Like, this is big shit here. I went mostly comedy, you know, and that's what I like. I like a lot of comedy. But number 3, Fight Club. And no movie has ever made me think as much as Fight Club. I still remember the first time I watched it and how fucking blown away I was when the ending is revealed. And the thing I like about it the most, I think, is that now when I watch it, knowing full well how it's going to end, I'm still blown away every time that you get that climax and the ending shit reveals itself. And it's just, everyone is great in that movie. Edward Norton's great. Brad Pitt's great. It's just every single person acts their ass off in that movie, and it's such a cool story. Has such a good meaning behind it. I still haven't read the book. I need to read the book, but I'm not much of a reader per se, so maybe one day I will get around to reading the book. But Fight Club is my number 3 favorite movie of all time. Number 2, Forrest Gump. And this is almost my favorite movie of all time, but I just had to put it at number 2. But literally every time it's on, I can watch it. I can say the words. I can repeat them back. Tom Hanks did an amazing job in it. I still reference it all the time, like some of these others. And it's the perfect movie because it has comedy, it has heart, it has love, it has substance, and they're obviously making up all these insane things for this character to have done in his life. But you don't care because he's doing it so well, and he's such a likable character, and he's just so oblivious to all the horrible things in the world, really, but then he has to live them and see the horrors of this world. And you get his unique take on that. And I think that looking at the world of that time through Forrest Gump's eyes is just an amazing feeling. And that's why I love watching that movie. And I love how it's shot. I love the story. I love every single second of it. And Tom Hanks is one of the top couple actors in the history of the world, without a doubt, surely. So, that's it. Number 2, Forrest Gump. My top 10 favorites of all time here. So we're getting to number 1, but I've got some honorable mentions I want to throw out there. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. What more can be said? It probably belongs on my top 10 list, but right now it's in honorable mentions just because of replay value and how much I can watch it. American History X, great film. I love the message behind it. I love how it's shot. I love the brutality of it. Another Edward Norton flick. He's amazing. 300. This was one of my top favorite films, but I haven't watched it as much in the last few years. I still will watch it occasionally. I still love how it was done. I thought Zack Snyder killed it, and it's got a great replay value. So I love 300, and I Love You Man. That's my next one with Paul Rudd, who is actually probably my favorite actor, but he hasn't ever made a standalone film with him where it's up to my top favorite ones. But I Love You Man, him and Jason Segel, again, great pairing. The Sandlot, childhood baseball movie. Not much more can be said about it. It's a classic. Halloween, the 80s version, not the Rob Zombie version. The original Halloween, to me, is the best horror movie of all time. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says. Michael Myers is my dude. End of story. It's the shit. Remember the Titans. I love the way it makes me feel. It's a happy story. And it's a bad story that ends up happy, but it's a great sports movie. And, Denzel is awesome in it. I love everything about it. And it's just a great story. And remember the Titans, my favorite Disney movie of all time, because it is a Disney movie. But I love it. It's a great sports film too. So anyway, we're getting to number 1. It's right above me right here. I'm going to pick Heath's nose. I've got him tattooed on my leg. I'm wearing the DC shirt. The Dark Knight is my favorite film of all time because I can watch it at all times. And I think, and I don't care what you say, once again, I don't care what people say here. Heath Ledger did the best performance of any film of all time that I've ever seen. No actor has ever made me feel the way Heath Ledger's Joker makes me feel when I watch that movie. And anyone can disagree. That's great. Do it. I thought that before he died. I will think that until they put me in the grave. Not just because I'm a big Batman fan, but that performance is amazing. What he went through, what he subjected himself to go through that, what ultimately might have contributed to killing him. He died for his art. And he died making one of the greatest films of all time. Without Joker in that movie would have sucked. Because that is not my favorite Batman movie. As far as Christian Bale, it's not my favorite Batman. And, putting him in it, what he did can never be replicated, can never be duplicated. And as a whole, that movie has problems, but it is a fabulous film. And I literally think that it's my favorite movie solely because of his performance. So, that's it, man. That's the top 10 movies of all time to me in May of 2018. Now, this could change a year from now. But, thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree. I'm sure everybody disagrees. This is not a typical top 10 movie right here, movie list right here. But, this is my movies. These are my top 10 favorite films of all time. And I just thank you for watching. And it's just a wonderful time. And just thank you. And give it a like and a share. And tell me what your favorite movies are. Thank you. Peace.